in this video, we're going to be talking about one of the most common issues that I hear about and see in the summertime, especially when throwing crankbaits. Now, I've got a pretty easy fix for you, and I hope this video helps you overall. You know, this can happen to anyone. Short strikes on the water, especially in the heat of the day and early morning when these fish, during the summertime especially, get crazy fast. They are moving at Mach speed. They are crushing bait, and it's hard for them sometimes to key in on your baits right here. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about short strikes during the summertime on crankbaits, and you can translate this as well to chatterbaits and spinnerbaits and other moving style baits, but specifically we're going to be talking about an easy fix for short strikes on crankbaits. Before we dive deep into this video here, I want to remind y'all that we have a couple drops coming up. The Throwback Swimbaits Wake Walker LT. This is a wake bait slash crank down from Throwback Swimbaits, one of our favorite swim bait makers over in the northern part of the country. They just released their ABS wake bait here. The Wake Walker LT comes with an elastomer tail. It also is going to only weigh 2 ounces. So when it comes to throwing a swim bait, this one is not super crazy, very durable, comes with mustad hooks on it, swiveling hook hangers, and is, just an absolute beast on the water. It's 3 segments and it does a great job of swimming, creating a really, really great wake. These are going up on the website on Friday at 10:30 and 3:30. We're gonna put half the inventory, and this comes in 5 different colors: perch, whiteout, shad, crappie, and gill. Those are the 5 colors. We're gonna put, I believe we're getting 40 of each of the colors, so half of them will go in at 10:30, half of them will go in at 3:30 Central Daylight Time. So if you want to go pick up a wake walker here, guys, these are only $49.99 for swim baits. This is extremely, extremely inexpensive for such a good product. Being 3 pieces, again, it is very easy to throw. Also, the trebles on here are no bigger than the trebles that you find on a typical crankbait. So you don't need a super, super specialized rod. You can throw this on most medium heavy to heavy rods. Doesn't have to be a super giant, XX heavy or anything like that. So very cool stuff from Throwback. We are also receiving our shipment of Grow Design, the G Flag 175s. These will be in next week for a drop, and I will give you more drop information on the social media, Instagram and Facebook. But that is what I got right now from the swim baits. And let's go ahead and kind of hop into some of the common issues with short strikes and going through why it happens. In the summertime, as the water temps really get warmer and warmer and warmer, the fish's metabolisms just go crazy. They have to eat a ton of food, and they're always chasing around bait. Whether it's the threadfin shad or the gizzard, you kind of have 2 different types of fish that like to roam around and just crush bait. Most of the fish, the ones that are big enough to eat the gizzards, they are your 5+ pounders. Anything under that, typically going around your banks, backs of pockets and stuff, you can find fish that will easily eat something like this. This is the most common, square bill type crankbait out there. This is a 1.5 size. Of course, the Strike King square bill 1.5. This is a Lucky Craft here. Every company makes a square bill because they are so effective. One of the biggest issues I see with a lot of people, especially going out with different people throughout the year, especially during the summer, is that they will throw their lure out, they'll start cranking, and immediately get hit, try to set the hook, and that fish just doesn't connect. Could it be a hook issue? Absolutely. I've done a couple videos talking about the different styles of hooks, from round bends to EWGs, how thick your hook is, how good your rod is at driving that hook into the fish's mouth. But a lot of the time, what they're doing is they are running around as fast as they can, just opening their mouth, not really trying to eat. One of the biggest fixes here, and this is one of the things that I have done for quite a while, especially during the heat of the summer, give them a bigger target. Give them something that they have to key in on and really make it worth their while. I talk about this in the winter time as well, throwing bigger swim baits or throwing bigger stuff on an Alabama rig, making it seem like the bait presence is much bigger, giving them a lot more time / visual representation of the bait fish that you're trying to imitate. It's going to make them think about it. They're going to have to go, oh, I have to open up my mouth a little bit bigger and focus on hitting this bigger bait, because the bait isn't just sitting there for them in the summertime. That bait is always moving around, avoiding the bass. But when you give them something a little bit bigger than what they're used to, they can consciously make that decision as they are running around and say, man, I need to key in on this. This is a killer meal. You know, instead of having to eat two bait fish, this, you know, half the size of this each, I can just eat one and I'm gonna get more full. So right here, this is an Evergreen XV5. The X over crankbaits are extremely realistic in terms of the body style, just being oversized. It's a little bit longer, more similar to something like a you know, kind of not mature gizzard shad / bigger threadfin, and this is a great profile overall. Like I said, it has 3 hooks, so having 3 hooks on a crankbait is pretty rare. Most of the time it's just in the front, 1 in the back. This guy here has 3 hooks, awesome hookup ratio, and depending on the type of line that you throw this on, as well as the size of line, will determine how deep you can get it. And all these crankbaits that I have here, or the 3 crankbaits that I have here, are made for shallower water. Of course, as you go offshore, fishing off points, fishing around humps, fishing near creek channels, of course you might be throwing some deeper diving lures like a 6XD, you know, a Magnum EXDR, anything like that, or even like a DRT Police. But these are going to be focusing kind of more on that shallow water, anywhere from like 0 to 10 foot-ish. These can be effective. This one right here specifically will dive down around 6 foot. It is incredible, especially at the dive rate. It dives decently fast and gets down, made for long casting, the Evergreen XV5. This one here is, I don't know if there's a total length on it, but this is also a more suspending lure. So you can pause this in certain areas and kind of work it like, oops, sorry. You can actually pause this in certain areas and get a very good reaction bite. So not only in the summer, this is also a great bait all year round, especially if they're running around really fast. Great in the fall time as well. Next up, kind of going to just an upgrade of something you would have from a 1.5. This is the Strike King 2.5 square bill. They also make a 2.5 wake, which you can optionally wake at the surface as well as crank down a little bit. But the 2.5 here dives anywhere from 3 to 5 foot. On really light line, like 10-pound line, you can actually get this down to around 6 foot. And this is really just an oversized option from the 1.5. Probably the most inexpensive way you can do this. It's only going to be $6.49. The 2.5 crankbait has caught me a ton of fish. One of the issues I find with this, though, is the hooks on it. Now, going back to hookup ratio and landing ratio with that, you're going to get the bites, trust me. But one of the things I have to do to modify this one specifically is actually size down the hooks to something like a size 6, maybe even a size 4. I believe this is a like size 2 that comes stock on this. I like to size them down. It increases the action, and it doesn't, you know, the hooks don't kind of counteract on each other. Having such a big gap between the hooks can actually mess you up more than it can help you. Last up here, these are brand new to the store. We just opened up an account with Optimum Baits, which includes Depths. It includes a ton of other companies that we absolutely love and are carrying currently at the store. But this right here is the Evoke series of crankbait. This is a bigger, now of course they have smaller sizes, but this is the 3.0 size, little bit bigger than your 2.5. Just about the same length as the X over. But it is going to be a much more aggressive crankbait. It is going to still have a square bill, but it is going to be built very wide, giving it a ton of action here. So this guy right here, it is going to be shaped, again, a little bit different than your typical square bill. Little more shaddy bluegill profile. We have a ton of different colors. We have the 3.0 and we also have the 2.0 as well. So a couple different sizes here. This guy weighs 28 gram, 80 millimeter, which is pretty close again to this X over, just a little bit taller, as well as a little bit more bulk in the body here. This square bill, the Evoke, is one of my favorites. It casts incredibly far. It is a little bit heavier, so you are going to be able to get some really great casting distance. If you've got longer areas, especially good portions of bank to fish, like a dam that has a ton of rock around it, this can dig in and around those rocks and get through it extremely, extremely well. The really cool thing about the depths here as well is that the plastic is a lot harder, and some of the sound that transfers through this bait does an incredible job. It's a different pitch. It is totally different from a lot of the American style square bills that you're, probably used to fishing. So these also come with some crazy good hooks. I'm not sure exactly what hooks are on here, but they have a little bit of an EWG bend, O'Shaughnessy bend at the very end, which keeps these fishes pinned. So you don't have to change the stock hooks out on these. Again, we also have the 2.0s available, which is going to be a little more similar to like a 2.5 square bill that you're used to. So we also have, again, the Evoke 2.0s available, which are going to be a little closer to something like a 2.5 from Strike King or any other company like that. But that is really my biggest tip for y'all when it comes to short strikes. And if you're finding yourself out there and you just can't seem to hook into one and keep it hooked, definitely try this. Give them a little bit bigger target. And this can also translate to like swim baits and stuff. If you're right now throwing like a little paddle tail, like anywhere from 3 to 4 inches, maybe go up a size, maybe go up to 6 inches. And I can definitely tell you that it has changed the way I fish and how I look at, picking different lures throughout each time of the year. Before we wrap up here, I do want to let y'all know the Destroyer Evolution rods from Megabass are now fully in stock. All models in the casting and spinning. These things are incredible. I'm going to be doing a post on Instagram and Facebook very shortly after I post this video on the YouTube, probably the same night, because this is going to go up, today's Wednesday the 20th. So this video will go up the 20th, and I'm probably going to make my post for the Evolution rods. And last thing, y'all, we did restock the Studio composite handles. These are incredible full carbon handles. They do have the double bearing shaft here. The knobs are monocoque hollow, so this is going to translate vibration from your reel into the handle extremely well. They are oversized. We have a ton of different lengths, and I know these flew out of here the first round we got them, so I can't wait to share them with y'all again. We have a lot of Shimano, and for whatever reason, they flew out of here the fastest. We do have a couple Daiwa, the 8x5, and these are compatible with Abu Garcia, Luz, Baits, as well as many other reels out there on the market. I had a guy bring like a Pisky Fun or Pisca Fun reel in, and he got set up with an 8x5. So y'all, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, want to remind y'all that the Throwback Wake Walker LT drop is going on Friday, 10:30 as well as 3:30. Half going up at the early time, half going up in the later time. So really cool stuff. And be on the lookout for some more information on Grow Design Works, because we are very excited to have those. Tell your friends, tell your family, if they're trying to get into some really cool swim baits, especially in that top of the water column, when the top of the water column is where most of the oxygen is right now. They're gonna want to get on this drop here. So guys, thank you very much. I'm glad I can talk to the camera again. I know my last video was pretty rough, just recovering from Weedcast, but it was such a great event. And I thank you very much. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.